Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be breaking down in a very simple and practical way on how to shift from operating on default mode and getting your default results into increasing your awareness so that you can consciously start changing the direction and the results that you are moving towards in your life using the understanding and embodiment of universal laws and energetics and playing with these concepts. You are a powerful creator and your life is your masterpiece. Most people are just totally unaware of how freaking powerful they actually are. And this is by design. We are not taught this stuff in schools, and our system is designed to keep us in a state of consumerism and from remembering our creative powers and how powerful we actually are. And the first concept I want to cover today is how your internal is actually creating the external, not the other way around. And you probably have heard of certain concepts like this, like manifestation or the law of attraction. Most people have. Maybe you have done a vision board before, maybe you haven't. But the issue, what I see here, and what I was struggling with before myself as well, is that when this is just a mental concept that we have heard of or that we might understand or agree with intellectually, that's not going to change anything. What is actually needed is the embodiment, is the play with this, and to start witnessing for yourself what is happening when I'm feeling this, when I'm feeling like this, when I'm in this kind of energy. What am I attracting? What are the results that I'm seeing in the physical experience? Right? How about when I'm feeling like this, when my state is like this? What is the result of that? Right? But most people operate from the belief or the understanding that because the external environment is like this, that's how I feel like this. So they have it totally reversed. And they're, instead of turning inward and seeing how their internal is creating the external and how the world is just a mirror, they're fighting the final result of the manifestation. They're fighting the physical plane. They're fighting the results. But that's already created from before. So that's why it's very difficult and it's very hard to try to create life and results kind of the other way around. So what is actually creating in your life is your energy. Your energy is like a frequency that is vibrating, and what you're attracting is the matching frequency. What are you able to see, what you're able to hear, the opportunities, everything. It's like when you vibrate here, this is the plane, what you're attracting. This is the experience that you're having. When you vibrate here, you're not able to attract what's vibrating on this. Everything eventually is energy. Quantum physics has catched up with this. So it's about understanding how to move your own frequency, how to move your own energy to be able to match with that which you desire. Instead of being somewhere here and just wishing and hoping and fighting that you would be seeing, getting, attracting things that are on a totally different frequency. Right? And again, it's not enough to just like intellectually hear about this concept. It's about what is my purpose with this video is to bring awareness to this, that you can actually start experimenting for yourself, that you can start playing with yourself, that you can start observing. When you are, for example, in a state that you're feeling really good, you feel heart open, you're feeling this sense of joy, your love, or this kind of like, you're just generally feeling good. Watch how it plays out. Watch what kind of people you encounter with, watch what kind of treatment you're getting, what kind of opportunities you can see and are attracting, what kind of little miracles are coming your way, right? Usually when you're in this kind of, or when you are in this kind of state that your heart open, you're feeling generally good, that's what you're attracting, right? That's kind of like the experience of like a smooth day when everything just like flows and goes well and like, oh my God. And if you're not aware of how energetics work and the basic universal laws, you might just kind of play this as, oh, I had such a like lucky day, or it was good luck. And you probably also have had the experience when you're not feeling good, you're like feeling frustrated, or you're in a fearful state, or you're angry at someone, or whatever it might be, you're kind of like, you're kind of heart closed. And usually the chain reaction of this, right, is a totally different experience. You might encounter people who are rude to you, or you spill your coffee and everything kind of spirals down, right? So it's not like bad luck or good luck. It's always like your internal state of being, your internal energy, your state of consciousness that is creating. And this picks up momentum, by the way, whether the momentum is picking up in the kind of up direction or in down direction. It's usually when things start to go bad and you kind of don't go into the processing of the emotions and like shifting your internal state. When you go into the and you're trying to fight it or you're trying to resist it, then it's like spirals down and things just like go even worse and worse and worse. And the same goes like when you're really feeling good and just kind of like it just starts lifting you up and even this happened and then they offered me this and I can't believe this, like it spirals up as well. But it's important, if you want to consciously create your life experience and the results, you want to start choosing the direction you go, to become aware of this, because it's never random, right? And one thing that I'm still navigating is it's a conscious practice. I believe in never-ending practice is understanding that it's not like once you hear this concept and then you just get it. It's like, oh, I learned to ride a bike and now I know how to ride a bike forever. No, it's understanding that your level of consciousness, your vibration will always fluctuate. And another very even toxic thing that I see and that I was also playing part with is thinking that low is bad. What that leads to is you try to avoid it, you kind of like panic. Oh, I don't want to feel this way. So you try to resist it, you numb it, you avoid it. You try to fake positivity. You try to pretend that it's not happening. You try to pretend being high vibes. You're kind of like not being authentic to how you're actually feeling. And our universe is full of polarity. So there will always be the fluctuation. There will always be those moments or days or even longer periods that you're feeling a little bit lower. And that's needed. That's part of life. That's the human experience. So it's not about like, I don't want you to think like eventually you're just going to always be here. However, the more you start to understand and play with this and truly embody this, the easier it becomes to vibrate higher and to lift yourself up faster. So when you have a contrasting moment, when you have a more difficult something happens, whatever it might be, instead of dwelling there for weeks or months or going into like a super victim mindset or like feeling totally hopeless and like kind of playing into that downward spiral for a long time, you are able to start feeling what needs to be felt and being present for what needs to be present for and processing whatever is kind of like the reason why you're taken down. Even just, for example, getting a flu or getting sick. Instead of thinking it's something negative and bad, you have to quickly like fight it and take the pills to quickly get healthy again. It's like, what if you needed it? What if your body needs this period of rest and detoxing and processing something? Like, can you be with that and process that? And eventually you're able to process it faster and you're able to get back healthy again faster, right? And this goes for everything. So it's just important to understand that it's not like high is good and low is bad. No, it's about understanding and being witness to it and playing with this and understanding where you're at, how you're energetically creating your experience. And why it's also very helpful is you start to recognize when you are having a lower day, for example, when you are not feeling at your best, instead of trying to fake it or you still like trying to force and push it and go after something, you start to understand like this is not the day. This is the day that I need to do something totally different. I need to be alone. I need to go for a walk in the nature. I need to have a conversation with this person or whatever it might be. You start to understand your internal state and you start to be able to adjust it faster so that you know what you need to play in this game. So that when you want something here, you know how to lift your vibration to match it instead of just forcefully trying to fight it and trying to attract something that's physically impossible. You can't be attracting the super amazing desired reality if you're vibrating here. It's like a radio frequency. It's impossible. You have to have the right frequency to attract the correct frequency. And again, if this is like new to you and it's kind of like a mental concept, it might seem like a little bit woo-woo or up in the air. And that's normal, but I really encourage you to go to the practical side of this and start seeing for yourself. Start playing with it. Start playing. When I feel this way, what am I attracting? Okay, what if instead of when I feel bad, instead of like just forcing things, what if I start to focus inward? Okay, what do I need right now to shift my energy internally? What can I do to start changing how I feel? Because eventually how you feel is always a choice. It's always a choice. The same exact situation can happen and you can respond in very different ways. So, practical example. You have set up a dinner with a friend. You have agreed on this for a long time ago. You have this dinner tonight. And you have made all these arrangements. You have arranged yourself a nanny. You have arranged with your partner, whatever, that you get the car, and you have made all these arrangements to be able to go to that dinner. You've planned all your week or your day around it. And then sometime during the day, your friend texts you and says something came up and she needs to cancel, reschedule the dinner. And you might feel so frustrated. You had done all these arrangements, all these things just to make it happen, and now it was all for nothing, and you feel very upset and frustrated. Even if you would understand that it would have been for a good reason, there might still be this like feeling of frustration and disappointment, perhaps, whatever it might be. But think of it, if you would have secretly hoping, you would feel very overwhelmed and you would feel very tired and you just wish you would be able to stay home for that night and you wouldn't have to go to town, whatever it might be. And you would get that same exact text stating that she needs to reschedule or cancel, and the same exact circumstance, same exact text, but based on how you feel, your response would be so different. You might feel, oh, I feel so relieved. Oh, you feel so relieved and so thankful and so much lighter, and it would not be an issue at all. You would be happily rescheduling the dinner, right? So this is just like an practical example of like how the exact same situation can occur, but your response and the way you feel is going to be very different, right? And this goes to so many different contexts. So you can think of similar examples. So if someone is late, if you're late yourself and someone is late, it's like, oh, thank God, you know. But if you're like, you've gone out of your way to be on time and then someone is late, it's like annoying, right? Like you feel like, I could have also taken that extra 10 minutes to get myself ready and do this or that, right? So the exact same circumstance, but a totally different response, a totally different feeling. Another helpful, practical way of looking at this is how I really understand this, and another personal example actually I'm going to share with you is you can think of your energy, your level of consciousness, the energetic frequency you're vibrating at, as the lenses through which you look at the world. Let's say you put on lenses that are red. Your experience is going to be you see red, right? You see red everywhere. You can't put on red lenses and expecting to see blue, right? Like you might be in the exact same life, exact same people, exact same job, exact same circumstances, but when you shift the lenses you put on, you shift the reds to blue, you start to see blue instead. And a personal example of this, I live in Bali, right? And about 8 months ago, I was in a very low state of consciousness. I was having a very difficult time, a lot of things happened, and my baseline was very low. I was not feeling good. I was feeling fearful. I was feeling heart closed. And my experience at the time, what I was attracting was I was just hearing construction noise everywhere. I was seeing pollution everywhere. There was just this like chaos everywhere. I was seeing trucks. I have this frustration, like I can't walk anywhere. It's way too hot to do anything. like all these things just kept happening, and I was like in this downward spiral, right? Because when you're feeling a certain way, it builds momentum. Whether the momentum is going downwards or whether it's going up, things build momentum. And I was like building momentum in the wrong direction. So I was having this experience, feeling very irritated, and it was very difficult to shift because that was my baseline. I would wake up already feeling this way. There's constant problems in the house, leaks, things breaking apart, and it was just like this never-ending loop. And I was so exhausted with this. And eventually it was all meant to happen. I also believe even those difficult times, and especially those difficult times, this is a topic for another video, like talking about beliefs and how limiting or empowering beliefs also greatly shape your experience here. Anyway, my belief is that everything is happening for us. So I can see now how that was happening for me, because I was meant to go to Europe. I was meant to go spend time with my family and have this whole experience, because it was very profound what happened and how it changed and shifted a lot of things for me. Anyway, back to the example. I came back 7 months later, back to Bali. Same house, same neighborhood, same environment, same stuff that I'm doing, going to the gym, doing my things, everything the same. So nothing externally shifted. Being in the same relationship, everything the same. Same body, obviously, everything same. But the lenses through which I was looking were different. Say I was previously vibrating here and I had the red lenses on, so I was just able to see red and attract red. When I came back, my internal state was totally different. I had the blue lenses on. The same exact external environment, suddenly I was able to hear the traditional Bali music and smell the incense. I wasn't even registering the construction noise or the traffic. It's so funny. Now I brought this stroller. I have a toddler, right? So I brought this stroller, and now I have this experience, like I can walk everywhere. I'm just walking everywhere all the time. Previously I thought, oh, I don't even want to live in Bali anymore because I can't walk anywhere. It's like impossible to walk. And now I'm just walking everywhere. Like nothing changed. Obviously, yeah, I also had the stroller before, but just this internal change, the external started to match it. There was just this sudden shift in everything, because I was vibrating from here to here. So what I was seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling, the opportunities I'm attracting, the people I'm attracting, the way people treat me, everything is different, because the world always responds to your energy. The external always responds to the internal. And that's what most people have it reversed, trying to fight the external instead of like seeing how the internal is creating it in the first place. So I really encourage you to start playing with this. Instead of keeping this as this like mental concept somewhere debating if you believe in manifestation or not, start seeing for yourself, start playing, start experimenting, start paying attention, become a witness, become aware. And the last practical thing I'm going to leave you with, which is very powerful and very practical, is if you're wondering, okay, but if I'm feeling here, like how can I raise the consciousness? Is focus on what you take in. Focus on what is actually creating your internal feeling. What are you consuming? Right? Are you watching the news? Are you consuming social media? What kind of accounts are you watching? What are you eating? What are you literally putting into your body? What kind of products do you use? What kind of environment are you in? What kind of people do you surround yourself with? Right? All the things that affect your energy. Do you spend time in nature? Do you spend time in silence, in meditation, if that works for you? Or are you constantly consuming something? Are you constantly in this like avoidance state, eating foods that are not good for you, spending time in hectic environments with people that are not actually aligning with who you are or making you feel good, people who are maybe gossiping and making you feel like shrink instead of expand and feel good. So start paying attention, all the things that you're taking in and where you are paying with your attention. What are you consuming? What are you surrounding yourself with? Because this all affects how you feel. And a note to this, the better you become at playing at this game, the more aware, the less these things are going to affect you. But at the start, it's going to affect you a lot because it's basically there is not this barrier. You just kind of everything affects you much easier. You see something in the news or on social media, oh my God, it like gets into your system and it alters how you feel. But the more you play with this, the less it's going to affect you, because the more you start understanding how to protect your internal state as well. So you might be able to be surrounded, for example, with negative people, but you're able to protect your energy because you're aware of the rules of the game and the importance of doing that. But without going too deep into that, that can be a topic for another video. I would just say, for now, just start paying attention. When I eat this, how do I feel? When I consume this, how do I feel? If you're not feeling at your best, could you change it? Could you shift it somehow? What is actually something nourishing that makes you feel better? Going to nature, going for walks, spending time with this person, hydrating better, moving your body, like all these things, like basic stuff basically. But that's like a good baseline to start with. And then just constant awareness. How did I create this? Whatever is happening, instead of, this. How did I create this? Taking radical responsibility for everything, because you're creating everything. And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. It's not something you just master once and then it's done. It's a continuous practice. I'm in it. Everyone who plays consciously with this knows it. It's just about deepening your embodiment of it. And the more you deepen your embodiment, the more you play, the easier it gets to be.